Major League Baseball is one of the major sports leagues in North America, but unlike the other sports leagues, it is completely different. It's comprised of two leagues, separate from one another in the beginning, and joining together, the National League and the American League. They even have different rules between the two leagues. There's just one rule, but it changes a lot. The American League uses a designated hitter for their pitcher, the National League does not. As far as the history of the leagues, according to BeyondTheBoxScore.com, the National League was founded in 1876, and the American League wasn't even their competition back then. They did have some competition with the AA, which is the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball. Heck of a mouthful. But eventually the National League was just more popular. So the best teams from the AA, which was 8 teams, joined the National League. And eventually the entire National League got trimmed down to 8 teams, 4 of which were from the AA. And from the teams that didn't make it from the AA to the National League, the American League picked them up. They were originally called the Western League, but in 1899 they changed their name to the American League. And then 2 years later, which 1901, 1 year after the National League disbanded most of their teams, the American League picked up 4 from those AA teams. And they declared themselves a major sports league. National League didn't like it that much. They tried to butt them out. But when they found out they couldn't, they decided to join them and declared themselves a major league. And the 2 leagues conjoined and decided that the winner of each league would play each other in the World Series, which is how that started. Each league had 8 teams at the time, many of which are teams still today, like the Boston Red Stockings, which are actually the Atlanta Braves, Chicago White Stockings, which were actually the Chicago Cubs, the New York Gothams, which became the San Francisco Giants, the Philadelphia Quakers, which became the Philadelphia Phillies, the Pittsburgh Alleghenies, it's a heck of a name, became the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Brooklyn Grays became the LA Dodgers, the St. Louis Browns became the St. Louis Cardinals, and Cincinnati Reds stayed the Cincinnati Reds. As far as the American League, their 8 teams were the Baltimore Orioles, but not that Baltimore Orioles. They eventually became the New York Yankees, we know today. The Boston Americans became Boston Red Sox, Cincinnati White Stockings became, the Chicago White Stockings became the Chicago White Sox, which they picked up the Chicago White Stocking name after the Chicago Cubs. And Cleveland Blues became Cleveland Indians, Detroit Tigers stayed the Detroit Tigers. The Milwaukee Brewers actually became the St. Louis Browns and eventually became the Baltimore Orioles, in full circle. The Philadelphia Athletics became the Oakland Athletics, and the Washington Senators became the Minnesota Twins. So as far as how the DH came about, the first game they actually used the designated hitter was in 1973. But the idea came about back in 1906. And someone even tried to revive it in 1928. But in 1973, the American League wasn't competing with the National League as much. They didn't have as good of batters. So they decided to take on that rule. The majority of teams approved it, and they wanted to bring in more fans. But the rule did not become implemented in the World Series till 1985, which is now the rule now, where the home team decides to use DH or not. In conclusion, the MLB just has a rich history compared to other sports leagues. There's so much rivalry between the 2 teams. There's just so many differences. There's so many supporters for the classic way of baseball with no DH, and there's many who support the newer version with the designated hitter, thinking it's more exciting. But regardless of what you support, what you think, the 2 teams are still going to battle it out in the World Series to decide who is the better league. How long was it? Oh, hi.